Good morning, welcome to your Tuesday English lesson. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, so could you write today's date and learning objective, which is Tuesday the 2nd of February, and your learning objective to plan a persuasive leaflet. Well done. So our task today is to plan our persuasive leaflet. You'll remember that we have researched what a persuasive leaflet looks like. We've seen the devices that are used to try and persuade. We've also researched the Roman way of life and we know why it's a great life. And today we're going to put all that information in a box-up plan to try and write a really effective persuasive leaflet during the rest of the week. Now remember, don't forget you have written 2 paragraphs already, so you've done a lot of the hard work already. So that means that you're going to be better prepared when you come to write tomorrow. Now you're going to need today this box up plan, okay, which you should have collected and printed off from Dojo. I have also printed some off and I've left some at school, so you'll be able to use that. You're also going to need your research from last week as well to help you allocate the facts and to remember what you need to tell your audience. Now, I'm going to go through each one of these sections with you and remind you of the things that you want to probably include and what would make really effective paragraphs in your planning today. Remember, today you want to do a lot of the hard work, so you don't have to really do a lot of thinking tomorrow. So you're going to be writing some key sentences today, and you're going to be using your key vocabulary. Now remember, when we're writing our sentences, we want to write in complex and compound sentences. We might drop in the odd simple sentence as well. So remember to have those things in front of you when you're doing your writing today, so you can remember the conjunctions that you want to include. Also think about the key vocabulary that you're going to want to put in each paragraph. Are there some key words that you want to mention? I'll remind you about that as we go through. Let's start off with the title. Now, we're going to plan the title of your leaflet. Now, the title shows clearly what your leaflet is about, and it should be catchy, so it grabs the attention of your audience. Let's just remind ourselves at what a title might look like. Here's the one that we looked at last week in guided reading, Roundhouse for Sale. This one tells us really clearly what the leaflet is going to be about. It's about this roundhouse, which is for sale. And we know straight away that if it's for sale, it's going to be persuading us that the roundhouse is a really great place to live. So your title must be catchy. Pause the video and have a think now about what title you could use. Well done. Now, you want now to think about your opening paragraph, your first paragraph. Now, in an opening paragraph, you are going to want to do the following things. You might start with a rhetorical question, but your opening paragraph is going to introduce the main idea and point of view of your leaflet. What is it you're trying to say? What is it you want the Celts to believe? Remember, you want to persuade them that having the Romans rule them will be a really good idea. Let's read again this example from the Roundhouse for Sale leaflet. I'm going to read it to you. All of our roundhouses are of the finest quality and built using the best quality goods. We build our roundhouses in groups to create hill forts, as this protects our community from our enemies, like those devilish Romans. Our hill fort is constructed on top of the highest hill in the area for added protection and security. Remember, in your opening paragraph, you're going to try and persuade those Celts that you are not devilish Romans. Are there any words you could magpie from this example? Pause the video now and have a think about your opening paragraph. Fill in your section now about your opening paragraph. Right, well done. Now, the next bit you're going to do is the main body of your information. If we go back to our box, we remember we have 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs, maybe a few more, maybe a couple less in your leaflet. We're going to talk about what you're going to write in this main part of your leaflet. This is going to make up the majority of your writing. And remember, you've already done 2 paragraphs already. You've already written about the army, for example. So you know what you're going to say about the army and why they were a great group of people to have protecting the Celts. Now, the paragraphs. These should have clear facts in them to support your point of view. Remember, at this point, you want to give the Celts all of the evidence to show them why you are going to make great rulers. This is where you're going to show off your persuasive devices to convince your audience. Remember, you'll be writing automatically in complex and compound sentences with the odd simple sentence, but also you're going to be maybe dropping in the odd rhetorical question. Maybe you're going to be speaking to them in quite a directive tone of voice. And remember, you're going to want to have some noun phrasing to really show the brilliance of the Romans. Your challenge for some of you would be to argue against the alternative viewpoint. Think about what the Celts might say in argument against Roman rule. What can you say to try and persuade them to believe you? Let's read again these paragraphs and see if there's any words we can magpie or any ideas. Maybe we can find some sentence structure that would be quite good. Let's read this one first of all. Our location is just perfect. Lovely simple sentence there. Next to the river, our hill fort is ideal for collecting water and fishing. Brilliant, starting with a fronted adverbial then. Don't forget those fronted adverbials. It's only a short walk from a large woodland, which is known in the area for its superb hunting. Complex sentence there, and a lovely noun phrase. Who could ask for more? And a rhetorical question to finish. Most of our roundhouses have been constructed from daub, which is a mixture of straw and mud, and in some cases animal dung. However, some properties have been made with large stones together with clay. Are you worried about the cold winter nights? Look how they've used a rhetorical question there as a subheading. Could you do that in your leaflet? The roof is made from straw with mud placed on top to keep in the warmth, even on the coldest nights. The fire in the centre of the room provides warmth, light and heat for cooking all year round. Any smoke from the fire can easily escape from the hole in the roof. Look what they've done here. They've made all of these things sound very positive. Remember, a roundhouse was probably quite smelly because it was made from animal dung, but they haven't told us that. It was probably pretty smoky and hard to breathe in a roundhouse, but again, they haven't told us that. They've just focused on the warmth it provided and the fact that the smoke can easily escape from the hole in the roof. It was probably pretty dark, but it hasn't mentioned that. It's only focused on the positive to persuade you. How could you write to persuade the Celts to like the Romans? Pause the video now and have a really good think about what you will include in each one of your paragraphs. Remember, you're going to have a separate paragraph about different parts to your leaflet. You might have one on the food and drink. You might have one on how they live and the types of houses they lived in. And you might have one on the army, and you might have one on, I don't know, something else. Transport, for example. Pause the video now and have a go at that. Well done. Now, the conclusion is the very final part of your leaflet. And this may vary from being one sentence to a whole paragraph. And your conclusion sums up your point of view. Remember, it's your last final bit of information you want to give the Celts as to why you would make a great leader for their country. Why the Romans are definitely the best people to look after Britain. Right, well done. Now, remember, I'm looking forward to seeing your planned leaflets. They need to be completed for tomorrow, this plan, so that you're able to start writing tomorrow and do the majority of the work today so it's much easier to write tomorrow. I can't wait to see what you produce.